Sean Taylor of Duran on the show, promoting his new book, In the Pleasure Groove, Love, Death, and Duran. How you doing today, John?
I'm good. I'm a happy man.
You've got this amazing book out.
Thanks.
What made you decide it was time?
I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and that causes a lot of introspection, a lot of feelings of nostalgia. I sold the house that I grew up in. I guess I've reached the age where I kind of felt, it was a good time to sort of look back in a balanced way. I got to write about the 80s, which it seems as though, it doesn't happen very often. There's not a lot of books out there that talk about the 80s, which particularly the early 80s, which I think was a really dynamic, really fun time for me. But, for pop culture in general, I think it was an exciting time. And, the timing, the universe aligned. It just seemed like the right time to do it.
Was it painful revisiting some of those memories?
Well, it is painful. I mean, it is. But at the same time, as I say, I think I've got enough, balance today, I suppose, that I could dip into it. I could look at it, but without getting, sucked into it.
Why does a man who is the idol of millions turn to drugs to suppress loneliness?
Well, I think it's trying to be all things to all people, and when you've got a lot of people around you and they all want you to be, somewhat different, then you have to expand on your resume, and you start using, to give yourself energy. It's a late night game, so you're always looking for that extra lift after showtime, so around about 11 o'clock, midnight, you're kind of looking to, shift into overdrive, and that's when you start turning to stimulants.
Did cocaine or drugs fuel the recording of the first two Duran records?
Not at all. Actually, that was one thing I did find right away, that it never helped me as a player or as an artist. I mean, all logic went out of the window. I think that's why I liked it, because it was, we were under a lot of pressure to deliver, right out of the gate. We had to produce hits, and I think that getting high for me was turning off, no, it never. We were never that kind of a band, and the music was never, created in that way. It was we've always worked in a fairly sober way.
So there was a discipline to, this is time to work, this is time to play.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was the bass player. I am the bass player, and I learned quite early on. Like the bass, you tend to get it recorded, and you got quite quickly. Mm-hmm. I mean.